Welcome to Becoming Saiyans.
A Dragon Ball rewatch podcast.
And we're back. I'm Truman.
And I'm Jesse.
And this is Becoming Saiyans, a Dragon Ball rewatch podcast. On today's episode, we watched episodes 71 and 72 of Dragon Ball, named Deadly Battle and Goku's Turn. Deadly Battle came out in Japan on July 22nd, 1987, and in America on November 18th, 2002. Meanwhile, Goku's Turn was July 29th, 87th, and November 19th of 2002. Getting into some quick differences from the manga. Goku's depiction of how he gets Master Roshi and Bulma to Baba's place is only depicted in the anime. The aftermath is of Oolong and Launch crashing as filler. Baba's singing is expanded in the anime. Krillin and the other scene are cheering for see-through, so he'll be distracted as filler. Bulma remarking how she can see how Roshi didn't want to tell people that he had a sister isn't in the manga. The talk between Goku, Roshi, and Baba is expanded in the anime. Roshi asks Baba for money only to tell her that he hasn't paid her back. And Goku asks Baba how old she is, and then also, a couple other times, Also, this is where Baba learns Goku is her brother's pupil, something she didn't learn on panel in the manga. The entire subplot with Baba trying to recruit Goku into a roster of fighters doesn't happen in the manga. The climb up the staircase is shown in more detail in the anime. In the trivia, in one scene where Goku's searching for Master Roshi, he runs into some birds. It would appear as if the birds are supposed to say something after Goku left, but when their mouths move, there's no sounds. The birds only appear to make sounds in the Japanese version, where they simply make cawing sounds at each other. The scene in which Bulma's shirt is pulled down is edited in the anime. In the manga, her breasts are fully shown, while in the anime, it's cut, at the part,
It is respectfully cut.
Exactly, respectfully. And then in the Viz version of the manga, which I'm guessing is like a kid's version of the manga, it's edited and they gave Bulma a bra. Goku saying Baba and Roshi look alike contradicts Goku saying they don't resemble each other in another episode coming up later. In the Japanese version, after Goku asks how old Baba is, he asks her something about body parts, which offends Baba. In the English version, he just asks the how old twice. Mm-hmm. The next one is for Goku's turn. Differences from the manga as Baba chanting is not in the manga. Bandages does not emerge from a coffin in the manga. He just shows up on the mouth. Bandages exchanges some light taunting in the manga, or here, and in the manga he just laughs. Roshi saying that nobody's ever made it past round 3 is not in the manga. When Yamcha's hanging over the pot in the manga, Bandages tells him to get up. In the anime, he torments Yamcha a little before changing his mind. The scenes of the fighters waiting their turn to fight with Ghost Usher is completely anime exclusive, which we kind of assumed.
We assumed was a flashback over to them.
Upa attempting to try to help Yamcha is not in the manga. In the manga, after being beaten down, Yamcha surrenders. But in the anime, he doesn't surrender, and then, the Puar thing happens, and then Goku has to save him. None of that happened in the manga. In the manga, for his loss, Bulma calls Yamcha pathetic for losing to a guy in bandages. Due to the changes above, Bulma just chides him for not surrendering when it became clear. Master Roshi states that Bandages the Mummy has never been defeated, yet later on says that Baba usually saves Spike the Devilman for last. It's unknown why he said this, because Bandages could have never been defeated before. Why would he... it doesn't make sense why he would know who the next one is.
I mean, I guess like familial bond, maybe he knows.
Yeah.
But
the 2 of the 5 warriors waiting outside of the palace reappear in other episodes coming up. The alligator, though, with sunglasses, was the one that was appeared to be sunbathing on the Nimbus crowd of Roshi from a while back ago.
Oh.
So, recurring character alert. And that's all the trivia and differences from the manga for these episodes. So, Jesse, previously on Dragon Ball. Yamcha has finally got the upper hand in his fight against Fortune Teller Baba and the Invisible Man named See-Through. Unfortunately, Baba sees what his trick is and decides to start singing really poorly to drown out See-Through's noise. So Krillin counterattacks with his idea of cheering on See-Through so See-Through talks so that Yamcha can find them. And then eventually Fortune Teller Baba tells him to, shut up and quit talking.
Shut up, Donnie.
Yeah. And so then the next trick that Krillin has up his sleeve is having Goku appear back with Bulma and Master Roshi and doing some questionable things to cause Roshi to bleed all over See-Through. And when that happens, that gives Yamcha the upper hand. He automatically knocks out See-Through because See-Through is kind of a wimp outside of it.
8-hit combo, and it's like, I give up.
Yeah. So then we move on to the third contestant, who is named Bandages, who is a mummy. Which, Universal Monster, yay. Goku, side plot, Goku goes with Fortune Teller Baba and gets to eat, so I guess he's going to be fully full when he goes to fight in the next episode.
Which, to be fair, she wouldn't know. He basically just powered up the only person that could probably beat everyone on her team without breaking a sweat.
Yeah. But while that happens, everybody else kind of wanders around until they reach the Devil's Toilet, which is where the next battle will be held. And if you want to call it a battle, I'll allow it, but I wouldn't because Yamcha gets his butt kicked. Up, down, sideways, left, right, Wolfang Fist, doesn't even matter. And at the end of it, Yamcha almost dies. Goku saves him and sets up to take on Bandages. And that's what you missed on Dragon Ball. Jesse, go for it.
Yeah, I'm a sucker. I kind of explained to Chairman, as we're getting ready to set up everything. I'm a sucker for when a fighting anime actually starts showing off hardcore fighting. So obviously I'm a big fan of these episodes. I love being able to watch fighting choreography and the animation and stuff. And these have been some pretty good fights the last 4 to 5-ish episodes we've had, give or take.
There's been some ebbs and flows, and there's been some the gimmicks and the tricks and the thought that goes through of winning has been been pretty peak. So
I also just like the variety of fighting styles we've seen. We've kind of had that drunken brawler monk. If you know D&D, you have that drunken brawler monk when you go with the vampire with fangs, and then you got kind of that sneaky rogue in and out, sneaking around with See-Through. And then with the mummy so far, we've just seen a pure just bare knuckle barbarian fighter.
Yeah.
Who also is just very witty. Yeah. Hitting one-liners, things.
Yeah.
It's entertaining to see these different fighting styles mix and meld together.
Yeah, that's definitely for sure. These episodes have had a lot of fun different forms of fighting.
Because you can screw up situations like this where you just have a copy of the same people. And with as many fighters as we've seen already in the show, it's easy to just be oh, this is the same person. We just make them do one slightly different trick or whatever.
Yeah.
It's no, these are so far we haven't really hit on similar fighters outside of I guess you could say Goku and Krillin in a way, but that's because they do have the same masters. So that's justified.
Yeah. And yeah, I was also a big fan of these episodes, and so seeing the fighting happening, it's always good, you come to a show like this, it's we have some comedy, we have some sci-fi-ish stuff, we have some some fun moments, but at the core of it, even if Toriyama doesn't want it to be, the core of this is a fighting anime, fighting manga. It takes off because the getting Dragon Ball Z and everything takes off because people want to see these big hulking people fight against each other.
The fighting manga, no matter fighting manga and anime and stuff, no matter how good the story is or whatnot, it can only go as far as the fighting and the animation during the fighting works out. Yeah. And so far, every fight we've watched, even if it's just a 2-hit combo fight, has been enjoyable and has been well done and well choreographed and stuff.
Yeah, and like Jesse keeps saying, it's all good, and the fighting, I know it's weird to say, but the fighters fight and it's fun. It's pretty basic.
Because even in episode 72, when Yamcha is getting absolutely mollywopped. He is still putting up like an attempt to fight, and it's shown well as like he's trying, but nothing is working.
Yeah,
they do that really well.
He even goes for his patented wolfing fist.
And he just is like every single hit.
And Krillin's like, yeah, he's doing it. And Roshi's like, what do you mean?
What do you see, man?
What fight are you watching?
Yeah, he might have nicked him with a fingernail, but that didn't do anything.
Yeah, even like when Yamcha like fully gets a kick on him later on, like full kick to the chin, his head goes back and he's like, all right, then.
It seems you have chosen death. And just drops him over the side.
Yeah.
But that's in the next episode. So let's kind of focus on what happened in episode 71.
That trivia about the birds really caught me off guard because I had really written down it would have been funny if the birds talked back. And I was picturing it being like, it's from Bolt, the pigeons from Bolt. Have you remember that movie, the Disney movie Bolt?
It's been so long since I've watched it. I know I've watched it. I can't remember it.
But there's like pigeons who are in because like in one of the cities, like, and they show up a few times. But Bolt runs up to him and is like, "Do you guys know do you guys know where Molly is or whatever the name of the girl is in that?"
Yeah.
And they're like, "You know, I've seen a bird like you before. You really I've seen a dog. You look real familiar. I can't put my name on it." And then the truck pulls up with Bolt on it.
Yeah,
and it's like he's like, "Yeah, I just don't know where I know you from. You must have a familiar face." I was really hoping it was gonna be like, "Hey, we're flying here. Get out of our way." And like they do look like they talk. It was an awkward pause in the sound because there was no noise. Like really, it was just like a few flaps.
I guess Japanese calling is different to American calling. I didn't want to just put it in. I don't know what the justification is for just having their lips move or their beaks move, I guess I should say.
Yeah.
And nothing come out.
Yeah, because it looked like they were getting ready to say something, like...
Even if it was just
these
like...
humans get weird every day.
Even if it was just like 3 caws.
But that was my first note, was like, man, it would have been kind of cool if they talked or funny. They could have done some funny jokes with the birds or whatever.
Yeah.
And they didn't. But... then Jesse pointed out, and we both kind of laughed, as like Goku pulls up and they're like, "Bulma, Roshi, we need you," and they're like, "We're not coming with you." He's like, "Too bad."
Just busted and kidnaps them.
Yeah, kidnaps his two of his friends.
No regard for Krillin and Launch's life.
You mean Oolong and Launch?
Oolong and Launch. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. Luckily, Launch.
Too far ahead.
Luckily, Launch sneezes and saves her and Oolong from dying.
And then, like, Oolong's like, talking, she's like, "Shut up or I will crash the plane."
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
And he's like, yes, can't do something.
And then a joke that calls forward to Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball Z Abridged. How did all these squares make a circle? we see the fighting. We finally see like a full wide shot of the arena, and it is like a bunch of square tiles in a circle. And
the secret is they get cut. Some of the squares are cut.
I know, but like they all look like perfect squares. But anyways, that's a joke to Dragon Ball Z Abridged. There's a character later on in Dragon Ball Z who I'm not gonna spoil, but like there's a tournament where he shows up and he makes the arena. And in the Dragon Ball Z Abridged, which is like the comedy version of it, he's like, I'm very upset.
I might know the character,
but I'm not going to say it. Anyways. Then we find out that Baba's a dirty cheater.
I mean, to be fair, I think like everyone cheats in this so far.
That is true. You're not wrong, but I didn't expect it from the handle.
I guess let's put it this way. I think it's all fair until someone gets mad about it happening.
Yeah,
because even like they even save, like in the next episode, they like save Yamcha with the pole. Yeah. Puar like runs out and starts doing it, and no one even calls him out for it. Like it's fine.
They just kind of allow it. So yeah. And then I do think that getting the next note I have, unless you have other notes, it's the problematic part that we're gonna have to get into here.
Yeah, like I kind of noted about Baba singing and some of the stuff, and then we get the nice feather comment from Roshi, and he's like, "What's going on?"
Yeah,
which I'm like, "Hey, Roshi, compliment."
Yeah,
and then it happens.
Yeah,
and then like I'm like as I'm saying, I'm like, why don't you just throw like a bag of flour at him.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh no, this is Dragon Ball. I should have thought this was going to happen.
I should have known this.
I should have known as soon as he was like, go get Roshi and Bulma. I was like, oh I know what's going to come.
Yeah, the whole time, like, obviously, I kind of had a general idea of how they beat this guy. I couldn't remember the details because, that's that's what kind of has been happening. I'm like, I know what happens, but then we get to an episode, I'm like, I don't remember this happening. But for you guys who aren't watching at home, and if you're not, I'm sorry, but you should be. It makes it a little bit easier to follow along with us. But if you're only listening to our commentary, we're also happy to have you here.
And we are going through what happens in the episode.
Yeah, we pretty much go plot
but
for plot.
I'm sure it would improve your experience if you were watching all of this. But I understand not having Crunchyroll or a way to watch.
Yeah. And then, so Krillin positions Bulma in a way, and Roshi in a way where they will...
So he positions Bulma facing away from the arena, but at the edge of the arena.
Yeah.
And then he positions Roshi probably about 5-ish feet away from her, facing her and the arena. Yeah. But in a way where he's not directly facing her, he's more facing the arena, but he is looking at her.
Yeah. And then he waits until Yamcha has gotten, looks like See-Through is punching Yamcha, where See-Through's back is to our protagonist,
and maybe a foot off the edge of the arena.
Mm-hmm. And then Krillin with his grand genius plan, which honestly is a smart plan. It just sucks.
It's a smart plan, but it sucks knowing the actual age of characters.
Grabs Bulma's shirt and pulls it down, revealing everything, and Roshi nosebleeds all over the arena.
Nosebleeds at least a gallon of blood or more.
And it all covers See-Through, which leads Yamcha to be able to win the fight.
Yeah, like 8 to 10 hit combo.
Yeah, he
knocks him out, basically.
Yeah. Like we kind of said in the last episode, it's going to take, one good punch or, a few good punches, and See-Through's
just a decent combo.
Yeah, because, if you're an invisible character, the whole joke is that, you're going to immediately lose when you get hit.
So I kind of compared him to, fighting like a rogue, where it's, a big part of rogues fighting in D&D they are, as far as, those melee style of fighter classes, they have the lowest amount of hit points in their pool normally.
Yeah.
So, usually if a barbarian has 37 health at level 3, a rogue might have, just barely 20 if you rolled average stats and put them where you put them, where they would be recommended. Yeah. So it's you generally have to fight on the edges or go in and out of stealth to trigger things. Yeah. So, but if you get hit by a big attack, you're kind of up the creek.
And that is I compared it to glass cannons and other things where it's the same thing. And that's basically what happens is that once he's able to be seen, Yamcha pretty easily hands it to him.
Yeah. And the reason why I went to D&D is because I'm a D&D nerd. I'm sorry.
Yeah. And then we find out that fortune teller Baba is Master Roshi's sister.
Woo! I did not see that coming.
Which I was re-listening to our episode from last week, and we were talking, I knew this part, and I was trying not to give it away, but, hearing us talk about, maybe Roshi goes here to train against her, people and stuff. It's no, Roshi hasn't been here in years. He just knows about her because it's his sister. You were way off on your prediction on that, but who would have predicted that Roshi has a sister that's still alive when we know he's 600 years old?
And it's just the older sister?
Yeah. She must have also drank from the the fountain of life or whatever.
It's something in the loins.
And their mom's alive.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Because they said we could use help
with mom. It didn't say help with burying mom. They said help with mom.
So. They said help moving mom.
Yeah. I mean, I guess you could be moving a dead body, but let's not think that way.
Yeah.
Not with recent events. Let's not think that direction.
Definitely not.
But
then
it is really funny, knowing that they're the sister, and then of course you have Goku asking her, "How old are you?" Because Goku does not realize societal norms.
Yeah.
And her being like, "It is rude to ask a woman your age," and then the implied joke here is that Goku's "Oh, you're a man, so how old are you?"
Yeah. And then the next, the joke in the Japanese format there is him asking her about what parts she has.
What gender are you? Yeah.
What parts do you have? Oh, so you must have a blank too, like Roshi. And it's it's a similar joke, but toned down for American audiences, which I'll take there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then she decides this Goku kid seems like he could be pretty tough. he's one of my brother's pupils. Let's pull him aside and see how tough he really is.
Just starts giving. So this test is twofold, and I realized this immediately once it happened, which is, I'm sorry, I keep burping, but like off mic.
You're good.
But it's basically she's gonna give him a lot of food, which in turn should not only slow him down, meaning that like, oh, this is an extreme test of reactions.
Yeah.
But also it's like, it should kind of weaken him because he's on full stomach or whatever.
Yeah.
Not realizing that Goku is literally a black hole as far as food is concerned.
Yeah.
And also was probably already getting hungry, and then now you've just fully powered him up for the next like 2 hours. Of course, she won't know that till later.
Yeah.
But feeds him and then drops like a probably 600 to 1,000 pounds of bricks.
Yeah.
On to try to drop them on top of him, and then he just like effortlessly moves them out of the way so efficiently that like one of them smacks see-through in the face.
Yeah.
And smacks her in the face.
Yeah, even though she dodges the first one, the second one gets her.
Yeah.
But
And then she's like, man, he's got really good reactions.
you should join my team.
Yeah, it's one of those like, oh man, Roshi might have actually done something good for once. And I'm like, man, she really hates her brother.
Well, I mean, he's like, it seems like the first time he's seen her in years, and he asked her for money.
Yeah, the last time it seems like the last time he interacted with her, he got like 10 zenny 30 years ago.
Yeah.
And she has not forgotten.
Yeah. He's like, oh man, I was hoping you'd forget.
Also, he missed her birthday. And he's like, oh, happy birthday. Sorry about that.
Yeah. Anyways, money. Yeah. Roshi does not seem like he's been much of a good.
Kind of surprising nobody. Roshi, not a great brother.
Yeah. Not surprising to anyone. Roshi, not a great guy, but an amazing teacher. Not a great guy.
Not a great familiar relationship.
Yeah. And then, I pointed out, like feeding Goku is not very smart. Like, but she doesn't know that. But I put that in mind just to like.
I think we both acknowledge it while watching the episode. We're like, she does not know the mistake that she has just made.
Yeah, and it's not for like a point of hubris because I don't really think of her as like a threatening person. Like, obviously she kills people like if they make it this far, but like most people aren't Yamcha. Most people once they get punched once, like even if they make it to the third round, are gonna be by that guy. Gonna be like, yeah, never mind.
I give up.
It doesn't seem like very many
most people, as soon as they probably get up on the tongue and see who they're fighting, they wave the right flag. They don't even wait for the mummy to like start punching.
Yeah, and so like.
And those who do, as we heard from Roshi, don't survive.
Yeah, or they just give up because he also says like nobody's ever won. He doesn't say nobody's ever fought him and survived.
No, it says. I think he says everybody who has like actually fought him has never like lived to tell the tale.
Oh,
like he specifically says if you get in a fight with him, he throws you in the acid.
Oh, yeah. So yeah, if they make it here, they do get killed.
Or they fall in the acid off the tongue or whatever.
But very few people, like, make it this far, it seems.
And also probably take more than maybe 2 punches from this dude.
Yeah.
And Yamcha took, if we were counting, it probably at least 30 on screen. Maybe?
Yeah.
I mean, I would like to go back and count. It's semi, but if I had to guesstimate, probably at least 30.
Yeah.
Over under 30, I think.
And then, this is where I said, man, this seems excessive. Like, all of the fortune teller blah blah stuff, And then, like, the Devil's Toilet has a great set design.
Yeah.
It's 2 devils, like, touching tongues in the middle of this arena.
Both sitting on toilets.
And there's also toilet paper on the outside of the arena.
Yeah, there's also stone toilet paper. And then around the bases of the toilets, like the stone the toilets are sitting on, there is a carved like tunnel on both sides. It seems like, and then there's acid all over, like that's not covered with the stone or whatnot. Like really cool arena. Like this is an awesome arena. If it wasn't easy to fall off and die.
Yeah, and this is where we get to Bandages, who keeps Jesse's prediction of the Universal monsters on track. Yes. Because the mummy is one of the Universal monsters. The mummy is another one. So we're up to 3 for 3, Jesse.
Yep. I don't know necessarily if it's going to continue, because I think you gave a hint towards like Devilman or something like that.
I have not said
in the factoids.
Oh yeah,
yeah. I think you gave a hint towards one of them, but that could also just be like Devilman. It's the wolf dude or whatever. I don't know.
Who knows?
But I'd assume probably not.
But this fight is not much of a fight because Yamcha is not on the level with the rest of them.
This fight could have been an email, especially if Yamcha just gave up when he probably should have.
Yeah.
But you know what? You have to give him some credit. Like, pride is one heck of a drug.
Yeah, and he gave it his all. It just didn't matter. He tried his best, but he didn't succeed.
I think a lot of his pride had to deal with, like, he wanted to kind of maybe subconsciously prove himself not only to everybody in the group, but especially because Bulma was there.
Yeah.
Maybe if Bulma wasn't there, maybe his pride isn't as high, and he gives up before almost being tossed in the acid.
Yeah. I like to think of this as a moment where, like, Roshi starts to respect Yamcha. Because we haven't really seen very many interactions between those two. But, like, the interactions we have seen, it doesn't seem like he cares much for Yamcha.
Also, I would like to point out, I guess that reminds me, this is another one of those moments where you're like, okay, I get why Roshi is some people's favorite character.
Yeah.
Or, like, up there for their favorite characters. Because he delivers an absolutely amazing line. Yeah. When, like, comforting and stopping Appa from helping.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, like, this isn't a fight between...
Well, because Appa is about to throw an axe in there to hit bandages to try to help Yamcha, and Roshi's like, no, he's got to do this on his own. Yeah. And then Appa's like, I feel bad, though. Like, he's going to die trying to save my dad. And Roshi hits him with the line, I'll let you go from there.
Yeah, Roshi basically hits him with the line of, like, well, he's not fighting for you or your dad or anything. He's fighting for his pride, and his pride refuses defeat. Basically, he is so prideful in himself that he can't admit that this is an unwinnable fight.
Yeah, and it's not because he's not trying to save your dad.
It's one of those memes like, I'd rather die.
Yeah,
that's literally how his pride is right now. It's like, if I can't pridefully walk away from this, if I am shamed into giving up, I might as well throw myself in this acid.
Yeah, and I do think that's a point where Roshi starts to respect him as like a fighter.
But that's but it's also just a great Roshi line. I'm like, man, this dude spits when he's not trying to perv on people.
Nose, yeah. When the blood isn't flowing, this dude be spitting.
Yeah, or he has this, like, a really awesome just quick moment, like shooting the Kamehameha across the ocean.
Yeah,
a couple episodes back.
He's got he's the sage wisdom in that moment of, first of all, he's consoling Appa.
Yeah, he's like, dude, don't worry, this is not on you at all.
Yeah, I know that, like, we all came here to save your dad, but, like, this part right here, your dad is not on. Yamcha's not thinking about your dad at all. Your dad, Yamcha doesn't even know your dad's name, man.
Yeah, like your dad is the last thing on Yamcha's mind at all in this moment.
It's, I'm going to win this fight or die trying, is all he's thinking about.
Yeah.
And he's probably starting to lean closer to die trying, but fighting those thoughts.
Yeah. Fighting the darkness in his mind.
Yeah.
Which you have to respect Yamcha, which obviously he does.
I give respect to Yamcha for the way he handled this. Like, unfortunately for Krillin, he got beat so early that he didn't really get a chance to have, like, a cool moment like this. Because Krillin just gets his blood sucked out. What he's supposed to do, you know? he lost.
Krillin physically cannot stand up without having without getting lightheaded and passing out.
Yeah,
he really couldn't do anything but just be dragged to the side and get a blood infusion.
Yeah, but Yamcha is putting up a heck of a fight. It's the most valiant losing effort I've ever seen. Of, like, I'm gonna try my hardest to score 0 points because it's what's important.
It's like it reminds me of, like, it's a more serious version of, like, movie 43, like the last skit, where it's like, that was the most intense moment of the match, and it's the dude shooting 2 free throws, and it's like, it ends up being 2 to, like, 223 or something like that.
They cheer like they won the championship.
They lost by, like, 200 points.
Yeah. No, I knew exactly when you said movie 43 what you were talking about.
That's exactly where I was going. Which, by the way, if you're a kid out there watching, wait a couple years before you watch that movie. And if you're a parent out there, definitely try to make sure they wait a couple years when they end up watching that.
Yeah. That movie doesn't make any sense to me.
That movie makes no sense, and that movie is rated R for a very good reason.
Yeah.
You could argue that's one of the rated R movies I've watched that probably would have benefited a little bit from being NC-17 or whatever.
Yeah. Moving to the next one, like Yamcha is seeing triple. Like at one point he's got him. Like keep talking about Yamcha, but he's like, I was barely beating 1. How am I supposed to beat 3?
It's like in that moment, any non like fighting for pride person would just wave the white flag.
Yeah, but Yamcha's not built like that.
But Yamcha is that's the moment where like you can swallow your pride. Hopefully you could swallow your pride. Obviously he couldn't. But you'd hope someone could swallow their pride and be like, there is no way in this world that I am going to win.
Yeah. And then the next part is Puar is enough to motivate Yamcha, was what I was hoping was going to happen. That like Puar getting hurt was going to motivate Yamcha to like hit that next level.
And then he gets up like a fighter on the count of 9 who should have just stayed down.
Yeah, he gets up and he's like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to save you, Puar.
And then like all Mummy does is put one finger out, and it's little brother versus older brother. Just, you can't move.
Yeah. And then Yamcha basically almost gets killed.
Yeah, he starts bending him over his back. He's like, the last person I did this to became the human prince.
Oh no, that happened. Then Puar, and then he goes. Then he picks Yamcha up and is like, "So do you give up now?" And then Yamcha kicks him in the face. And he's like, "All right then,"
and then just chops him off the side.
You know what? Respectable. Nice. It's nice knowing you. And then Goku catches him with the power pole, and then we set up a fight between Goku and Bandages.
Everyone that's when everyone's like, "You're an idiot. Learn the words. I give up, please, Yamcha." And everyone's all worried. It's like Goku's like, "I got this. It's fine." And everyone's like, and Upa's like, "No, Goku, you can't do this, Goku."
The Mummy King want to fight? I'll give him a fight.
But Rocky, there's no oxygen on Mars.
There's no oxygen for him either. But that was a Family Guy. That's a Family Guy cutaway. But that's one that's lived in our brains for a bit.
I think we had a DVD that had that joke on it. It was like, had 5 episodes.
Yeah, we had like 5 episodes of Family Guy at
that
one
was
point,
one of the
and that was one of them.
But Goku gets out there, and Roshi's like, oh, "No mortal man could beat this mummy." And I wrote down like, luckily Goku isn't a mortal or a man.
Yeah,
he's a secret third thing.
He's a secret third thing, an immortal alien, which we don't know if he's immortal yet. We have not seen him die.
In the confines of this show, he feels practically immortal.
Yeah,
and we all know he's an alien.
Yeah. And so I guess that like the only thing left to do now, Jesse, is to get into our prediction section.
Which I think they might have gotten one. Correct.
I think you got at least a few of them right, because you had him beating the Invisible Guy. You had Yamcha wears himself down to the point where he loses, and then Goku steps in, which that pretty much happened. Like Yamcha wore himself out trying to land a punch on Bandages, and then he loses, and Goku has to jump in. And then the last one was one that you put there at the end, that where the fighters are all Universal Monster references, which I think you put as like a one for the whole thing.
But for basically the whole time that we're fighting her.
Yeah. And
like,
I had
like an extra like semi arc.
Yeah, like a miniature thing in the arc prediction. So I guess the last thing to do now is to jump down and see what the names of the next episodes are, which are The Devil Might Beam and The Mysterious Fifth Man. Ooh. So Jesse, what do you think is going to happen? Don't forget that we're fighting the third fighter right now, and the next 2 episodes from now we're fighting the 5th person. So
yeah. So I think Goku's going to beat the Mummy within the first 5. Like he's going to beat the Mummy and move on to the next guy.
Yeah.
Before we get the mid roll. I think Goku's going to beat the Mummy handedly, and everyone's going to be like, "Oh, Goku might have this."
Yeah.
And also Bob was going to be like, "I want you so bad."
Yeah. Please, Goku, join my team.
I think that's pretty obviously on the cards.
Yeah.
And then we're going to spend the rest of of 73 and going into 74, towards the beginning of 74, with Goku fighting the 4th person.
Okay.
Who I'm going to put that there, and then I'm going to guess the 4th person is maybe. We'll go the creature from the Black Lagoon. I want to guess that's the that's the universal monster that it is.
All right.
And then the mysterious fifth person is like the Devilman, maybe wolf, like the Wolfman creature, universal monster.
Yeah. The fifth guy is Wolfman.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, let me double check. Universal monsters.
I think you hit all of them now. Like outside of Frankenstein, which we kind of talked about last week. Like we already kind of had Frankenstein, and technically, like Bandages is like has a Frankenstein looking face. So
yeah.
So yeah, like so far those are the guesses. So I guess moving into our next spot, it would be our worst part. In case anybody was wondering. The worst part of this episode, by and large, is the involuntary flashing from Bulma to Roshi.
It's Krillin's plan.
Yeah, Krillin's plan.
Describe it as Krillin's plan.
And
as much as like for all intents and purposes, it's not a terrible part.
It made us chuckle a little bit.
We chuckled, and it was one of those. I'm like, I guess that's a way to solve this problem. But it also just comes down to like, we could have just gotten like a bag of flour.
Yeah, we could have thrown some sand.
We didn't have to like expose the teenager's like boobs.
Yeah, there's
like,
no need for it.
We didn't have to expose a teenager.
Yeah, it was to
at least 100 to 150-year-old man. Well, actually, how long ago did he fight Corin?
I don't remember.
I forget how long
it was.
But let's go with like 200 to 300-year-old man. I don't know.
Yeah. But yeah, there just really isn't much. I know we kind of jumped over it a little bit, but there really isn't much of a point. Like, yes, did it make us chuckle a little bit? Because it was like, of course. You know, it was more of like a joke of like, it was mostly like a laugh of like, yeah, right, of course. This is what the show is. Why didn't we think of this?
Why didn't I think of it?
Yeah, why didn't it come to our attention?
It's like, oh yeah, the most Dragon Ball way to solve this problem.
Yeah.
Just use Bulma and Roshi as an entire perv gag. Okay. Yeah. Should have known when you said go get Bulma and Roshi that was going to be the solution.
Yeah, and then like the fact that like it also seems like Roshi praised Krillin for doing that.
He's like, that was bad, but I loved it the entire time. You're such a smart boy. It's like, how could you do that? Anyways, keep doing it.
Yeah. Why would you do that to her? That was totally wrong. I'm just kidding, bro. You're doing great.
There's $20. Do it the next match, too.
Yeah, it was just such a ridiculous situation. It did make us laugh, but that doesn't mean it also does.
And it did solve the problem.
But it also sucked.
I think we skipped a lot of other solutions.
Yeah, we jumped to Plan W, and we had a lot of
Though
options.
I guess in Krillin's defense, telling Goku to get a bag of flour probably would have taken longer and been more likely to be incorrect than doing that. I guess we're playing devil's advocate on the decision.
Yeah.
But
still, that decision sucks.
That decision was awful.
And so, Jesse, I guess, like, here comes a fun part for you. What was your best part?
Man, it's tough. Because there's a lot of good fighting choreography. Just good gags. I thought, honorable mention, as much as it is just, like, complete filler for the anime, like, in air quotes, filler. I did like the cutaway to the group waiting to fight. And then, like, the mummies just punching blast, causing earthquakes, and they're like, "Oh, I'm sick. Oh, I just remembered something. I gotta go."
Yeah, it's that will become a recurring gag of like really buff fighters deciding, "Oh no, I have a tummy ache," and that being the reason they don't fight.
Yeah, it's like we're at that point where it's like normal mortal men cannot compare to the things that are fighting right now.
Yeah.
So that was a funny cutaway, but that's my honorable mention. I think it's got to go to just like the entire the mummy fight. Like as much as it's super one-sided,
yeah.
But like I think the choreography is good. It does a great job of displaying like, oh, this is a step up even for like this is a character that probably even Roshi might struggle with.
Yeah.
How handedly, like he's handing Yamcha his butt on a silver platter so well that like he could just knock him into the acid like 2 minutes into the fight, and he's like, "No, he almost just proverbially reaches his hand down, pulls him back up, and tells him to keep fighting because I'm not done with you yet."
Yeah, he's like, "She woke me up for this. I've been asleep for 1,000 years. You're getting your butt kicked.
I've been asleep
whether
for
you
a
like
while.
it or not.
Like I was taking a really good nap, and you disturbed it. You got to give me a little bit more than this."
Yeah, you're gonna keep that. You're gonna get this because
getting that personality of just this. It's like it's the type of like fighter or barbarian. Like again, going back to D&D, I know I compare a lot of things to D&D, but it's just like it's the type of character that I like to fight against. I don't like playing these characters. I like to be a little bit more like reserved, but like it's the type of player like character that you fight in like a coliseum. They're like it just motivates you to just win because he's making you so mad.
Yeah.
And it's like, and I think that does play into Yamcha's pride a bit. It's like this dude has pissed me off so much that I refuse to let him have the satisfaction of me saying I give up.
Yeah.
I would rather him kill me because at least he can't be satisfied that I squeaked out like a white flag.
Yeah. He says, you know what? Screw you, man. I'm gonna die.
I'd rather die. I would rather die than let you have the satisfaction of seeing me give up.
General Hux being like, I don't need the rebellion to win. I just need the Empire to lose.
Yeah. But like it's such, I love it. It's an example of just like such a well done, like drawn out fight because it takes. Probably,
it takes the whole episode, basically.
10 minutes, of the episode.
Yeah, because the whole like the fight starts at the beginning of the episode.
Yeah, within the
and
first
it lasts almost to the end.
Yeah, so like what? Probably like
15, I would say
15?
probably close to 16 or 17.
Get the mid roll in there. You got some like
17.
but it's just like because we get the mid roll, which takes about 30 seconds.
Yeah,
you have the minute long recap at the beginning.
Yeah.
So you start to, I'd probably say closer to 15, 16.
Yeah. And with that being your choice, my choice is going to be the Roshi Sage Wisdom.
Yeah, that's another great point.
Like, obviously, like, I would probably choose yours over mine as the best part. But to try to show a few unique points, I'm going to go with that one. Just because, like, it really does strike me as, like, a good, like, it shows, like, part of the good of Roshi and why he's such a complicated character to talk about.
Yeah.
Because the first episode of these, he does something abhorrent. And then in this episode, he's a sage master. And it's like, make up your mind, Tori, pick a lane, like, one or the other, come on.
I was like, yeah, like, and again, like, as we mentioned it when we talked about that line, it's like it's a great example of why people like Roshi, even with the ginormous flaws he has constantly.
Yeah, but he's just such a complicated character because, like, on one end you have like a despicable, disgusting man who, like, every time he shows up does something gross.
Or almost every time he shows up.
Yeah, basically every time he's on screen, it's either set up or the punchline to him doing something perverted. Yeah. Or the second option is he shows up and he does the most sage wisdom training moments, teaches a lesson.
It's like, hold up, let him cook.
Yeah, and it's like you either get one or the other, and it's so frustrating because the tonal whiplash with this character. It's like, Toriyama, pick a lane. Do you want this guy to be the gross, disgusting perv, or do you want him to be the sage master knowledge of all master of wisdom and knowledge and kung fu?
Yep.
Like, pick one or the other. It makes it so frustrating. How can you be the worst part and the best part in the same 2 episodes? It doesn't make sense. I don't understand it.
And it does feel like a cop-out for me to pick the entire fight, but it's just such a good fight.
Yeah. And, I mean, with you picking the fight, it leaves me to pick the other one.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
Which if you had picked the fight first, I would have probably done the same thing.
Yeah. But, like, that just goes to show you, like, the duality of Roshi and why I can picture him as one of my favorite characters while also understanding that he's a giant piece of trash in other situations.
Like, it's lines like those that make me hope that there's maybe, like, a 6-episode, like, stretch where we don't get a single Roshi perv moment. And it's just him being a really good master, having awesome line. Like, it's just the whole...
You mean the Tournament Saga?
Yeah, like Tournament Saga. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Tournament Saga.
Yeah, let's go back to the tournament where Roshi can't be a perv because he's too busy fighting.
Too busy being Jackie Chan.
No, those are 2 separate characters, Jesse. Those are 2 separate characters.
Yeah, on our wall of pops.
It's been a minute since we've came here, but on our wall of pops, we do have Kame House now. We got the big Kame House.
Roshi and Kame House.
We were able to get launch. I don't know if we had told anybody, but we got launch.
We got purple. We got purple launch.
We got purple launch, unfortunately. There was like a 1 in 5 chance we would have gotten blonde launch, in which case I would have gone for the purple one. But I decided not to. And then we were able to add Corin to our wall of Funkos.
Or as it says on his Funko, Karen.
Karen. Yeah, or Corinne. I'm guessing it's probably Corinne.
Yeah, probably.
Probably.
But I like to imagine it's Karen, because he does act like a Karen for a few minutes in those episodes.
But anyways,
that's a joke, by the way.
yeah. Anyways, you guys can reach out to us at becomingsaiyans@gmail.com. We also would like to remind you to download, subscribe, rate, review. I would love a 5-star rating. If you don't think we deserve it, that's totally in your power. You can also follow us on Twitter, on Instagram, and on TikTok at Becoming Saiyans Pod. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel by the name Becoming Saiyans Pod. And until next week, I've been Truman.
And I've been Jesse.
And the journey continues.
Bye.